Why Hitler was abused by the world after the war. Adolf Hitler, when he came to power in 1933 AD, the NSDAP won only 4.5 of the seats in parliament. After outlawing the 81 seats of the Communist Party, it finally won 50.9. In the following years, the NSDAP held general elections, disbanded and absorbed other political parties, excluded the Communist Party and Jews, and at the same time, improved the working environment for workers, expanded the welfare of the German people, nurtured the youth, and expanded the national defense. Although the death of President Hindenburg was also a factor, it must be said that this was the destiny of a great hero, and the natural outcome of his lifelong struggle. Any ordinary political leader would have been satisfied with these successes and would have paused. First and foremost, it is important to let the children know that the world is different because of this change of government. Repeated street marches by SA and SS, relentless attacks on disturbing rebels, and various parades. We must not forget that the politics of the new nation was carried out on a large scale, including thorough propaganda by radios set up everywhere, and the regaining of lost ground such as Ruhr and Danzig. 3. The Weimar of the West and the Social democracy of the East are the ones who should be spat upon. In the post-war era, the extreme trivialization of Hitler and the Third Reich is nothing more than a cover-up for the fact that we understand and are astonished by their greatness. In fact, the demagoguery that contrasts Germany under the Weimar regime with the brutality of the Third Reich and our country during the social democracy era with the brutality of militarism and repeats rhetorical flourishes is nothing but a clever trap for the victorious powers of World War II to weaken their policy toward Germany and Japan. So what exactly was the Weimar Republic of Germany? It was a democratic republic established in 1919, just after World War I. It had a president and cabinet with 7-year terms. The Weimar Republic was famous for having a 7-year president, a cabinet headed by a chancellor, a bicameral system with a Reichstag Senate, and a Reichstag Chamber of Deputies similar to that of the United States, and a constitution that was called the most democratic in the world. This constitution clearly stated the sovereignty of the people and was littered with articles guaranteeing the rights of the people and the rights of workers. However, it is important to understand that this ideal constitution not only did not work at all, but also perished after only 14 years. At that time, Germany was reduced to 100,000 standing troops. By the Treaty of Versailles after World War I, all its colonies were confiscated and its territories were usurped by others, leaving it as a weak country in the center of Europe. On top of that, the astronomical reparations due to France's insistence on the Treaty of Versailles weighed heavily. Jewish financial capital overran Germany, and the country was riddled with economic collapse and superinflation. On the northern border of the country, even the weak and corrupt Poland violated the territorial integrity of the country and killed their own people, but they could do nothing about it. No matter how noble the constitution is, the international pigsty run by communists and Jews as Hitler is not capable of realizing its ideals. There was no way the humiliated nationalists would remain silent. Thus, a true hero appeared, and powerful propaganda and fighting forces took control of the streets and crushed the opposing political parties. History proves that within 6 years of taking power, Japan became a major empire, surpassing Europe. The weakening of Japan by the victorious countries in the post-war period is nothing but a replay of the Taisho democracy era, the weakest in Japan's modern history, as I have always insisted. The glorification of Weimar in the West and Taisho democracy in the East is nothing more than an attempt by Britain, the US and Russia against Germany and Japan in order to maintain the permanent domination of the victorious nations. Now is the time to crush the post-war democracy, the poster child of defeat, and bring into the light the reconstruction of the great motherland that has been sealed behind it. Translated with Radiocom Translator, free version.